All right, so we could probably get this started right now. This is the Instant Replay Podcast. The name is definitely
Pending.
gonna be fucked with. Yeah, I mean, this is just something that we threw together real quick because we wanted to talk about the upcoming Pro League and shit like that. Yeah,
So
yeah,
brief
yeah,
introductions.
So I'm Frotz. I've been in the competitive scene, competing, hanging out, fucking watching my friends and shit like that since Modern Warfare 2, so probably like close to 10 years. And I've been watching really close this year. This is something I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to have a podcast talking about the Pro League and shit like that. So me and Shaq decided we were going to do it.
Same. So I'm Shaq. People call me Shy. Same thing. Started playing competitive around MW2. Again, mainly we're just friends from school, bullshitting like that. Got super serious in Black Ops 1. Stuck around till the end of Modern Warfare 3. And after that, I kind of just fell out of Call of Duty. Came back a little bit back in IW. So we have this, trying to podcast, discuss the community. It's not going to be super formal. We're not about that. There's a bunch of dickheads that see me talking shit.
I probably swore like fucking 20 times already. So yeah, this really isn't that type of podcast where you're looking for professionalism or anything like that. I'm in here just trying to fuck around, have a good time, talk about the Pro League.
Big facts.
So the first thing we could probably come into is the PLQ that happened a couple weekends ago. I forget the dates exactly. January 16th to the 20th. So what happened there was the 5th to 32nd teams in placing at Vegas. They went into a round robin of 4 different pools, and then the top 2 made it into the league. 3rd, 4th, and 5th went into a double elimination bracket, and then 6th and 7th automatically lost their chances to get into the Pro League. So from that 28 teams, how many was it that made in? 14, 12? Yeah, 12 of them made it in from that. So the 12 teams that made it in were Enigma 6, Team Envy, Midnight Esports, Evil Geniuses, Team Reciprocity, Heretics, KFC, 100 Thieves, UYU, Accelerate Gaming, Team Space, who is now under Gen G, Red Reserve, and Overtime. I think Overtime is... Oh, yeah, it's Denial now. That's who it is. So, yeah. Those were the 12 teams that made it in from there, and there was already 4 teams that placed top 4 at Vegas that made it in, and that was Optic, E United, Splice, and Luminosity. So in the Pro League, they're doing 11 weeks, and each team plays the team in their pool twice and team in the opposite pool once. And yeah, we're about to get into how the PLQ went, their path to making the Pro League and shit like that.
So I guess start off with, of all the teams that did qualify, which one surprised you the most?
Surprised me making it into the league, or surprised me in how they made it into the league?
Let's say how they made it into the league.
It's definitely Midnight. There is no fucking way in hell I expected them to go 6-0 in their pool and just automatically qualify. I mean, obviously there's some talented players on that team that have been around the scene for a while, but they finished 21st to 24th at Vegas. So, like, they weren't even really one of the teams that was in the conversation for making it into pool play at Vegas. And then they came out and surprised everybody and fucked their pool up.
That's absolutely 100 fact. I was going to say Heretics myself. Them fucking,
yeah.
Them boys, them Spanish boys, them Vamos.
Yeah, for sure. In terms of making it into the league, they surprised the hell out of me with that. It's the first Spanish team in the league ever. Before it was only like the main European scene, like French, Ireland, and shit like that made it into the league. And this is the first time the Spanish boys made it in there, so that's fucking hype.
Was there Irish team before?
Not Irish team, but players from Ireland,
Ireland. Okay.
like Northern Ireland and shit like that.
Yeah, that one. But that one's the one that's super shocked me. And honestly, Envy kind of going through their pool as hard as they did. Again, they were looking a little shaky before, so I was.
Yeah, and they came in and just got business done and made it through, no problem.
I mean,
some good shit from Envy.
Now touching on teams that didn't make it, I mean,
FaZe.
FaZe. I mean,
the fact that G2, Pittsburgh Knights.
See, G2 and Pittsburgh didn't surprise me.
No, I mean they finished. Go ahead.
It's Paris. When I think of Haggy, I'm prepared to be let down, and not because nothing he did. It's just he just has that luck. Motherfucker's cursed.
Yeah, ever since like Black Ops 2 when he was like really dominant in that scene, he hasn't had that same kind of dominance that he had back then.
Same thing with Chino. I feel like Chino. I'm always.
Well, he won the first event last year.
But shit always gonna go off the rails with Gino.
Yeah, and I think that's the last one he's won since then. But I mean, Team Sween and Lightning Pandas, bro, they were fifth and sixth at Vegas. They were one win. Both of them were one win away from making it automatically into the Pro League, and then they come to the PLQ and drop it all and do not make it in at all.
But as far as this like FaZe though, it's just
to have FaZe not in a pro league is fucking weird. To have FaZe not involved in the Call of Duty conversation is pretty fucking bizarre. I don't know if they're gonna buy a team from somebody in there, but like not seeing FaZe Clan in there at all, especially when they had two teams coming to the PLQ and neither of them making it, that shit is fucking wild.
I mean, and they have a bunch of previous champions. And now they're sitting out.
And weirdly enough, like for FaZe Clan, like the main team, a lot of people I feel like might want to put the blame on Cilium because he's the new guy. He came in and they don't perform. However, I feel like Cilium had a great event.
He had an amazing event. I haven't really heard too many people trying to put the blame on him. Again, he's the rookie with a bunch of vets on an established org. A huge org. I mean, I'm looking at Zuma. I'm looking at Attached.
I feel like he did what he had to do, and his team just really didn't help him out.
Now, again, there was a lot of rumblings as far as should they have, broke up beforehand, kind of rebuilt the roster. I wasn't necessarily one of that, or part of that crowd myself. I didn't think they needed to go into rebuild mode. Again, they finished third last year.
Yeah, I actually don't remember too much from Vegas, or not from Vegas, but from World War II. I don't remember too much from that. But I mean, you have Zuma, Attached, and Crowder. That's been a big core three from FaZe for. I think they had it for almost the full World War II season, where they had those three together and were fairly successful throughout the whole year. They never really had any huge disappointment.
Pretty sure, again, I'm just off the top of my dome because I could look it up on my computer, but that's work. I'm pretty sure they finished third. I'm pretty sure they choked. They should have been grand final, but I'm pretty sure they choked pretty bad. But, and I mean, honestly, I'm surprised that Attach hasn't been picked up yet. So that kind of gives me a gut feeling that FaZe is planning on buying out a team.
Yeah, I think when March 1st comes around and teams are able to make their substitutions and float swaps, I think we're going to see Attach and Cilium on a pro team. And yeah, you were right. Yeah, Zuma, Attach, Crowder, and Priesta finished third at World Champs. The core four that finished the third best team at the end of the year last year is not even in the Pro League. That shit is wild.
Another shocking regarding PLQ, 100 Thieves making it in.
I mean, you shouldn't be shocked that they made it in.
You, mm,
Like, you kind of expect them to make it in, even with all their problems that they were having. You're like, all right, they're gonna figure it out. They're all vets. But yeah, no, it was shaky. They started out fucking shaky. And I think if they would have lost any of the matches that they did, they would have had to go through bracket play, which, man, that bracket was a disaster down there. Like, trying to fight through any of those teams to get your spot is terrifying.
mainly just the reactions after a loss and a win, just the dare stare. All of them
Yeah.
ugh.
I mean, like, people definitely seen a sub coming to take a spot on that team after. And I think March 1st, that team might completely blow up depending on how the Pro League goes for them.
That's very possible. Random fact, enable best shot punch. Well, watching him shot punch, he was shot punching the fuck out of people.
I mean, my man Cillium definitely has that too. My man shot punch is nasty.
I guess speaking of one of these, and we're kind of moving past the PLQ again. We already went over who qualified, who didn't. The big
big surprises.
The big news as far as just the community going into the Pro League. Start with the number one kind of story. Pharaoh being moved to a sub and bringing in Priesta.
Yeah, I think overall, good move. I think you upgrade the team with that. I think you upgrade the team in two ways. You replace Pharaoh with Priest. I think Priest is a better player right off the jump. And I think the secondary improvement that they have there is I think Kenny gets better. Because then Kenny moves to a role where he's more comfortable with. So I think they improved 2 spots there by making 1 roster move.
I would personally going back and forth with this. At first, I hated the move. I thought Pharaoh was their most consistent player. And to move him to sub, and almost, honestly, if someone was to be benched just based off of performance, it should have been Kenny. But again, he is kind of the face of the team. Was most marketable. Again, esports rookie of the year. So that, again, he has that going for him. But Pharaoh was so fucking crucial to them qualifying. But again, it sounds like there was a lot going on in the background as far as attitude. There was that one video early where it was like Pharaoh and Kenny versus essentially Octane. And again, they came off super immature. But the more I've kind of been thinking about the change, and based off of the scrim performance, I hate going off of scrims, especially online, as like a barometer for future performance. So far, it's looking like it's winning.
Yeah, well, I think it was mainly based off of personalities clashing. There's a lot of big personalities on that team. I know Kenny's got a big personality. I mean, you can just go back to the times with Slasher arguing with literally anybody he's ever teamed with. So I think it probably came down to a personality thing. They don't mesh as a team, and they felt like this was the best way to improve quickly as far as getting ready for the Pro League and trying to make a dent before March 1st so that they can fix it from then.
And again, this should be kind of like a warning to all future teams and rosters. Just stacking talent on top of talent on top of talent doesn't necessarily equate to good performances. Again, chemistry, how players communicate, their roles on the team, egos, all that has to be factored in. But again, just trying to build star power on top of everything. Again, it could be great for marketing until you have, again, what they have where they're just shitting the bed constantly and they're almost a joke, at least for right now in the community.
I think it was like sort of similar to what we've seen when that Dominant Optic team first formed. That was a monster fucking team. And it was like every player is unreal, and it actually worked out for them. This is the opposite of the case where you stack a whole bunch of talent. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work out, especially in Black Ops 4. Where this game, it feels like you really have to have your teamwork on point, and it's such a team focused game where you can't have that one player that's just going to win it for you based off of raw talent. You actually have to have the teamwork working together, picking up trades, using your specialists together to counter their specialists. Like it's so much more than raw talent.
And who's the cap? Is it Kenny captain?
I'm almost positive that Kenny is the captain.
I mean, giving the keys to Daddy's Ferrari. I mean, it's just they don't have a great leader. Because again, Slasher doesn't have a great track record as far as leading teams.
No, Octane's one of those quiet guys. I find. I mean, Enable looks like he could be the leader, like just based off of
like the peacekeeper.
Yeah, just based off of like obviously his Halo experience and stuff like that. I don't know. I haven't really seen that from him in Call of Duty yet, though, in terms of being an in-game leader.
I think the issue with him is just the skill. I won't say it's not there, but again, if we've been on teams where we are better than our leader.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, so it's hard to respect somebody when you know you're better than them.
Yeah, I could definitely see that being a problem.
But again, so far as right now, scrims have been looking up. Their first new scrim with the team, as far as Optic, they kind of got smacked up a little bit, but you can't really hang your head too much on that. Again, it's Optic, the clear number one in the game right now.
Yeah.
But they have they shit on Reciprocity. They kind of handle Midnight pretty dominantly, so.
Yeah. I think that's the team that I've seen that actually challenges them the most is Midnight, and that's online, so it could be a little bit different on LAN. But we're not exactly sure.
You saw Midnight challenging Optic or challenging one of these?
Challenging Optic. I mean, in the Pro Down, Midnight finished second. And the games, I feel like, weren't that close with Optic, but they were the team that was there. They beat every other team that they had to go up against, and then Optic was the only team that really shut them down.
And I guess since we brought up Midnight, I should say, a lot of rumbles as far as the reasons behind Midnight's success. One of those being everybody rocking double stuns and kind of that fiasco.
Yeah.
Think it's just people just being salty. Like
I think that's what it is. I feel like we're yang too much for gentlemen and agreeing way too much stuff now. Like as soon as we gentlemen agree on certain things, it goes good for a while, and then everybody just finds something else to complain about. And then like we're just gonna keep doing it until like right now the ICR isn't in that great of a place, but you still need one because it's just that solid, consistent gun. And so what we're doing is we're GAing double stuns and stock
double
2.
Equipment. Is it all double equipment? Double?
I think it's double equipment, yeah. And then it's stock 2. So what we're doing right there is we're nerfing the SOG player. Already there's only one SOG player, and we're going to nerf him. It doesn't make too much sense to me. But we're just because we're seeing how much people can jiggle peek with the SOG 2 or the SOG with stock 2. And so they're like, oh, let's just get rid of that. So what we're going to do there is we're going to make the SOG weaker. We're going to make everything else stronger. And everybody's going to start complaining about all that other shit. Then we're going to start GAing some of the shit. Like I saw somebody say that they want to take grip 2 off the ICR. It's that. Like, bro, like what are we doing here?
We're quick draw 2. That's like.
It's like what? Like I don't. Are we going to set it up so that everybody's using the same gun, and then we're going to get back into like a Black Ops 1 situation where everybody's using the FAMAS red dot? Like, I don't think that's what we really want here. We want defined roles. We want guns to specialize at what they do. And the SOG was doing that with stock 2. It's not like the SOG with stock 2 was making it so that it was gunning Maddox's mid-range more, or it was gunning ICR's long range. It wasn't doing that at all. You had your gun that was specializing in that role, and now what you did is nerfed it There's going to be more Maddox play and less Sog play. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
I have no arguments there. This GA trend, though, it feels like since World War II, I don't remember it being this bad. There's always been one gun, one attachment that's kind of been, all right, maybe if we take this out, everything will be better for balancing. But since WW2, it's just the fucking list is growing.
I feel like we're doing it so much now. Like I understand if there's something that's completely overpowered and game breaking, but Stock 2 wasn't that. You had one person running a fucking SOG. It's not like you had the whole team running it. It obviously wasn't that fucking good, since you had 4 other people on your team that weren't running it. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Like some shit like Seeker Drone, obviously.
I get it. It adds a bunch of randomness into the game. But some of the shit that we're doing now, it doesn't seem to make any fucking sense to me.
I'm trying to think of any other community that bans legal shit as much as we do.
I mean, the only thing I can possibly think of is there was that League of Legends champ, right? I forget, he had like the highest ban rate for a while. Cassidy, was that it?
Cassidy, he was up. He's up there for a little bit.
And I feel like even when he made it through bans, a lot of people just didn't play him because they're like, yo, this is a free win. And it felt like kind of cheese to do. But that's literally the only thing I can think of.
Always see that. You might see like one character, like Smash had that back in Brawl with Meta Knight.
Smash had it with Melee with Jigglypuff, where everybody fucking hates HBox because he plays Jigglypuff.
They try to do that with wobbling.
Yeah, I mean, like, I get it to a certain point, but you just got to adapt. Like, everybody's on a fair playing ground. Anybody can use all of this so-called cheap shit, but everybody seems to make a big deal out of it.
So again, we kind of went away from Midnight, but as far as their kind of
rise to
fate, a fucking super elite. But as far as their success, especially online in the PLQ, you have any ideas of as far as why they just out of nowhere
I mean, ever since Parzelian hopped onto the scene, that dude's been a monster. His first year competing when he turned 18, you've seen people talking about him. Like Clayster was tweeting about him, like after playing him in online tournaments and shit like that. So that guy's a monster. Envoy probably had one of the best events he's ever had at the PLQ. That dude is fucking sick. He destroyed it. I think he had the second best KD at the event. I think they work really well as a team together. Lamagod, obviously, he's had some success being a top amateur. And I think, that they just played really well together. And surprised a lot of teams. I think maybe the shock factor had something to do with it. Like, who was in that pool? They had Midnight, 100 Thieves, Overtime, Team Space, Accelerate Gaming, Pittsburgh Knights, and Mazer Gaming. So you had Overtime, who squeaked right into the lead at the last second. Team Space and 100 Thieves both had early struggles at the beginning of the week. So I think a lot of teams weren't focusing on them. They had a strong pool with 100 Thieves, Space, Pittsburgh Knights, and Accelerate. And I think they were just overlooked. And they came out, did their job, and got it completely done, and never looked back.
It's crazy enough. They damn near 3-1 Space, 3-0 100 Thieves, 3-1 Pittsburgh. Then they went 3-2, 3-2 against Accelerate in overtime. So like the big names kind of overlooked them. They got washed for it.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely weren't on my radar going into the event. I saw them maybe fighting for a bottom bracket spot, but they came out and just fucking shredded all the other teams and made it look easy.
All right, that's all the good stuff for Midnight. Now to the bullshit going on.
Bro, that is fucking nuts. I mean, spoofs.
Mm.
I couldn't feel for you more, man. That is a fucking. I seen players getting dropped before the PLQ, and I felt bad for them. But it's like, okay, you got to understand these teams are doing what they can to try and solidify themselves in a pro league. But this man Spoof, in my opinion, had a great event. His stats might not show for it, but he had a good event. One of the reasons why UIU qualified for it. They've been together for forever now. Him and Mayhem have been teaming together in this AM scene and getting just this close and not making it. Then they finally make it, and fucking Spoof loses his spot for Methods. I was completely mind blown.
I mean, motherfucker is breaking down in front of his mom. It's just oof.
Yeah, oh man, I just don't understand it. Seems like it wasn't. It was somewhat a team decision, somewhat not really a team decision. More force from the org. Apparently, what I'm seeing was the org brought up the idea. So the team wanted to bring in Parasite as their sub and just have him used as their sub. And the org said, we would actually prefer Methods because he's got a little bit more notoriety. False. Parasite's the more known player. But Methods is played on FaZe. He's played on bigger orgs than Parasite has in just just recently. So they said
he does have that black spot on his name for back in the day, even though he's done everything he can to at least try to turn around his reputation.
Yeah.
But again, I mean that may have played a factor into it, but
yeah. So the org says, "Hey, we'd rather Methods," and the team's like, "Hey, whatever. Like, I guess Methods is a solid enough player. We like him. We'll take him." And then the org brought up the idea of,
oh, he ain't just coming to sub. Oh no, he's starting.
yeah. And what they did apparently was left it up to a team vote. And I think the boys on UIU, they figured, if we vote no to this, what happens when March 1st rolls around? If they can just throw Spoof to the wolves like that, what if we don't agree with them? We play like this, and all 5 of us are off the team March 1st. So I think they're just trying to play ball with UIU and hoping that they can stay alive in the Pro League and stay alive in the whole pro situation. And maybe they're hoping to prove themselves so that even if UIU does try and pull that shit with them, they can at least find a home somewhere else.
I don't know. I've been thinking about this shit constantly. And not even just Spoof leaving, it's just the org having so much power over the destiny of these players.
Yeah, I think it's
due to, I don't know if it's in their contract, if they kind of signed off on their rights, give UIU all this power. I don't know if that's just the nature of the pro league where the orgs just have ultimate say.
I mean, it can't be down to the pro league really, because at the end of the day, you come to the contracts with these teams, with these orgs, and I feel like if Spoofs would have had a buyout, this all would have been solved. Where it says, "Hey, if you want to remove me from the team, you're gonna have to buy me out, and if I want to leave the team, then I'm gonna have to also pay that buyout." And I think they made their mistakes. They made their mistakes.
Amateurs just not reading the contracts, just signing on the dotted line.
Yeah, well, they want to make some money. UIU comes at them with some money as an established org, and they took advantage. I think that's really what it was. UAU did some shady shit here. Really not a fan of what they did. Spoof earned this spot. And I think pushing the team members to make a decision on removing Spoof, even though they didn't want to, I think that's some shady shit. UIU had a good event. Not a perfect event, but they had a good event. And they qualified for the Pro League somewhat handily. And they got shit on for it.
I mean, business is going to be businesses.
Yeah, UIU didn't do shit. They did not do anything for this team. Well, I mean, they did shit for this team, but they didn't make these players better by signing them or anything like that. They contributed nothing to this. So I feel like the players got shit on, and it's just going to be a lesson for them in the future.
This is lesson to all fucking amateurs. Just read your contract before you sign any. And this is not even for just Call of Duty. It's just life in general. Because we live in a society where we just skip through the terms and conditions. We just accept. Go to job offers. Oh, how much am I going to get paid? How much sick time I'm... Okay, that's all I need to hear.
That's it.
Just sign off on it. But again, you have... Your likeness, your career, you're a business. And that's just the nature of things. You have to handle yourself like a business. So you have to read over your contract. And again, it's going to have a lot of verbiage that you might not understand, but there's resources. Again, especially in esports, there's a lot of actual esports lawyers now. And there's a lot of people, especially who just read over your contracts for free. I've seen it. I've spoke to a few of these people who kind of handle esports kind of contracts. Again, it is kind of new as far as the industry, but you really have to just pay attention to what the fuck you're signing. And I don't want to say it's only a Call of Duty thing where people are just getting fucking snaked, but
it seems to be happening a lot more here.
Jesus Christ, bro.
It seems to be happening a lot here.
Like you might see it once or twice, like a year with League, but it's just every few months it's something with Call of Duty. But again, before you sign the contract, again, it's hard to do what Space did and just bet on yourself.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what Space did. He took a bet on himself and he won the bet. And now he's probably fucking rolling in it. Him and his team decided, hey, let's not sign anything. Let's go into this representing ourselves, trying to secure the bag. And they went in there and did what they needed to do.
But yeah, I understand as an amateur,
you want that guaranteed salary.
You want that money.
You want that guaranteed amateur salary. And if they didn't make it into that, they probably wouldn't have gotten it. If they would have went in there without an org and didn't make it in, then you lost out on that salary. They took the guarantee, and turns out it wasn't a guarantee for one of them.
Exactly. Just fucking pay attention what the fuck you sign, people.
Yeah. Oh, that shit is rough. I couldn't imagine going through what he has. That seems fucking horrible to me. So we ready to go on to better news here? Fucking the pro leagues finally started. We get some shit to watch.
Last thing as far as news, obviously we mentioned Team Space got picked up by, is it Genji? Genji? I'm hearing a bunch of different fucking pronunciations.
Here's the thing for me. I don't know any other words that start in GEN besides generation. So I'm going to go with Genji. If you can think of something that starts with Gen.
I mean, I feel you. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. So I'm going to call him Genji until I hear some other shit. But yeah, Genji picked up Team Space. You know a little bit more about the org than I do. I skimmed through it. I saw that they had a couple PUBG teams.
Mm-hmm. So they have a PUBG team. They have a pretty big league team, LCK. So obviously they have that. Then they also have an Overwatch team. So they have pretty big established teams in big orgs. I thought it was mainly just a Korean esports, but looking at their board of executives, it looks like they're Asian born, American born Asian Americans.
Okay, yeah.
So that makes more sense. I was kind of shocked, why the fuck is a Korean org picking up Call of Duty, even though we're kind of going into franchising next year. But again, looks like a lot of Asian Americans on the board. So obviously, Call of Duty more of an American esports than anything else.
Do you think it has anything to do with Blizzard and Activision? Like the Overwatch community kind of leaking over to Call of Duty just because they're together?
I didn't really put that together.
That was something that I literally just thought of now. I was like, hey, they're a thing now. So I thought maybe that could have something to do with it, but I'm not sure myself.
Or it could just be how fucking huge Black Ops 4 ended up being. Shout
Yeah,
out to
yeah,
Blackout.
yeah. That definitely killed it. Like you see players like TP, like that man is killing it on Twitch right now. When Shroud came over, Shroud was killing it, but Shroud will kill it on any game that he goes and plays. But yeah, so Genji in here now. Nice to see another new org. There's plenty of them this year.
They had that logo before Red Reserve.
Did they? Yeah.
They had that. I heard that out loud. It looks like the Red Reserve. No, Red Reserve switched after Genji. So
You see the Red Reserve tweet?
no.
Red Reserve. You know that Spider-Man meme where they're both pointing at each other? Yeah. Red Reserve tweeted that, and they're like, "Welcome to the Pro League," and it's like Genji's logo on one of the Spider-Man faces and Red Reserve on the other one. Good shit.
Good shit.
Good shit. So you ready to get into week 1 here?
Week 1. I mean,
actually, wait. So we're starting with Division A. How do you see Division A finishing out by the end of the year?
I mean,
you don't have to give me a 1. You don't have to give me a 1 through 8, but what 4 teams?
But like Optic's number 1.
What 4 teams you say making it?
You would say Optic, obviously number 1. LG would make sense. I'm not sold on Reciprocity. Not sold on Red Reserve. I'm going to go Optic, LG, Genji, EG. I feel like I just picked like the top teams, but
I mean, based on the way the divisions are laid out, you pick 1st, 2nd, 4th, and 7th. So based on how they made it into the Pro League and how late they made it in from the PLQ, you picked 1, 2, 4, and 7. Which, I mean,
I just feel like I'm not saying I'm not sold on Midnight, but let's see when, again, you're playing as pro teams on a consistent basis. If people start to adapt to your game style, if you can handle the pressure, again, a lot of first-time pros. So we'll see how that works out for them. But
I see them finishing in 5th. Like that's where I'm giving them. I can see them fighting for a spot, but I'm not sold that they're gonna make it.
UIU, I think I don't see good things happening for them.
No. I'd like to. Mayhem is a good friend of mine. I've known him for a while. I sat there and watched him almost qualify for the Pro League in Black Ops 3. I was sitting right behind him. Him and my boy Stump were sitting there, and I was sitting right behind them on day 1 when they got to their last match, and they almost made it. So I'm hoping UIU can pull it through for my boy Mayhem, but I don't see it. For me personally, I got Optic, Luminosity, EG, so I got the same 3 as you, but instead of Genji, I got Red Reserve. I got Red Reserve. They're one of those teams that always seems to find themselves near the top during the league. They always seem to find a way to be in the conversation by the end of the year. So I can see them doing that again.
I just see I see Gen G, just Major and Havoc, they're just so fucking nasty at this game.
Yeah. Oh, they're definitely some talented players, but I don't know. I just they'll probably surprise me, but I just have Red Reserve in there. I see them more as a consistent team. They've been teaming together for a while now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they made it over Genji.
Yeah.
And side note, I'm happy to see Havoc finally kind of living back up to his potential.
Yeah, well, I remember when he first came in World War II, he was an animal. He was a complete fucking animal. And then throughout the year, he just kind of fell off. So I'm hoping we can see him.
Oof. His stock
plummeted.
I think a lot of it was the game not necessarily meshing with him and kind of his attitude. Again, he's still super young, but it just seemed as like a top player out. Warms my heart.
Yeah, yeah, it's nice.
Um,
So you ready to get into the schedule for week one?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So the first match, we got 2 matches on the first day. We got Red Reserve versus Reciprocity. First match, we're starting off with the Twins fighting each other. We get to see Scraps and Weskin going at it. See how to talk and shit between the two on Twitter. It's good to see. You love to see it.
You fucking love to see it.
And then Midnight thrown to the wolves right away. Day one, here you go. Show us what you got. Playing the best team in the league, probably.
How fucking scary is Optic? Like, it's so... Dashy is just...
But you've got the core 3 that have been together forever. And
all for a conversation of GOAT, greatest of all time.
Yeah, and there's some fucking terrifying players. And then you bring in TJ and Dashy. Dashy had a killer event at Vegas, destroyed it, absolutely fucking
Number
killed
1
it.
player in the game, hands down, bar none.
And then TJ, search and destroy specialist, really coming to his own in Respawn as well. Man, that team is fucking scary. That is a scary fucking team. I can see them doing some shit this year. For Optic fans, fucking, you're gonna have a hell of a year. It's gonna be a fun fucking time.
I mean, at least one Optic team is fucking doing good. All their other shits are just, ooh.
Yeah, it's just falling apart.
Fucking...
and then you got the CSGO player that was found cheating. So who do you got? Red Reserve, Reciprocity.
Red Reserve.
You got a score.
Clean sweep.
You got a 3-0?
I'll go 3-1.
I think I'm going to give it probably a 3-1 for Red Reserve as well. I think they're just more of that team that you trust to do well. Is my dog picking up on Mike?
Yep, that's whatever. I feel like I'm just going to always pick against Reciprocity. I don't know why. I don't know why. That team just does nothing fucking for me.
I'm not sure what it is. It's the same thing with me. I
love Tommy as a fucking like a personality. I
love Tommy. Yeah,
but it's just that team is just like who. I mean, I could see them beating Gen.G. What's that?
I guess them beating UYU.
I guess them beating UYU. I mean.
But I don't see him. I don't see him in the top. I love Weskin. Weskin and Tommy are my fucking dads. I love both of those guys, but I just don't see it. So for match 2, we got Optic and Midnight. Optic 3-0. It's nothing against Midnight, but I'm not sure if I could see Optic dropping a map to anybody that's not really in that top conversation. I can't see, especially when it comes to, I think, no, it has nothing to do with map count, your paycheck this year,
No,
it's just game count.
Just game count.
Yeah. Optics can go in there. They want their fucking money. They want a nice, quick 3-0, get back to streaming, playing some Blackout, making some money on their stream. I think they just get it done real quick.
It's hard to pick against OG. It's just that team is just constructed so fucking well.
Yeah, and they got TP. They got TP as a coach. I mean, he was one of those players that you always talked about being in the smartest player conversation. His gun skill wasn't always there. His stats weren't always there. But you know what he brought to a team. You know he brought a certain expertise to the team that he could really help you out. Now you got him as your coach. And what do you do for your substitute? Oh, yeah, you pick up one of the hottest players in the game, too. You pick up Zuma, who couldn't make it with FaZe, but you know he's got that raw talent. That team is...
They have a weird fucking ass relationship with FaZe to pick up Zuma. The no loan, no buyout is just like almost like a handshake agreement they have to have him as a sub.
Yeah.
I mean, just a sidebar, but again, Dashy is just... his shot is...
Yeah, no, he's fucking talented, man. And he's got nobody better around him to really teach him the ropes and like really help him turn into a more of a veteran player than rather than just this flashy kid who can do anything. He's got people around him that can teach him that have all been that player before. So I think there's no better place for him.
Him and that duo, him and T, that's a duo for you.
Yeah, 100%. And then on Tuesday, we got Genji versus Red Reserve, Midnight versus EG, UIU versus OG, Luminosity versus Reciprocity. First game, Genji, Red Reserve. I got Red taking it 3-2. I just think they're that team. How about you?
Yeah, I'm going to say 3-2. Just going back to PLQ, see Genji just almost not qualified, just choking away so many games, having so many chances to just qualify outright, and they just blow it almost consistently. I don't know what necessarily causes them choking as much as they do. But, again, when it comes to those close games, I don't have the highest faith in them. Okay. Granted, I picked them to kind of make it out over Red in the grand scheme of things, but this early on, I'm going to go with Red. Safe bet.
Yeah, I think they are just that safe team. Even though they barely qualified, I think they qualified in the last losers round. So, yeah, they beat out Sween. They almost lost to G2. They beat them 3-2 in round 3 of losers. Space actually beat Red Reserve 3-1 at the PLQ. So I don't know if that speaks to what might happen here, but so Genji actually beat Red Reserve 3-1 at the PLQ. But I still like my choice of Red Reserve 3-2. And I think they're going to pull it out.
That Space versus 100 Thieves, that Game 5, that was literally the worst choke I've ever seen.
Yeah. You feel like those players have the composure to like just finish it out, but we didn't see it there.
They I feel like that's the team of Havoc and basically I think they just when they get to that pressure starts building. But again, they're here. They did beat again Red Reserve and PLQ, so we'll see what happens. But I'm taking Red 3-2.
All right. We got Midnight coming out with another tough game right away. They're playing EG. I don't think these teams played each other at the PLQ. EG was hot. Midnight was hot. I'm taking EG 3-1 here.
I'm right there 3-1 EG.
They're just a veteran team. And Midnight, man, it sounds like I'm hating on you guys, but you start the week playing against some rough teams that I feel like you'll have to make up for later in the week. UIU, Optic Gaming, Optic's going to 3-0 them. To me, that's an even easier match than Midnight.
Yeah.
I feel like Optic's just they're dominant. UIU, they're coming in with a new teammate, and all the drama. So I think OG just handles business and gets it done. Then we got Luminosity and Reciprocity to finish out Tuesday. This is gonna be a good game, I feel like. LG looks like they've had some struggles online.
That's a team
since coming back from Vegas.
That's not a team. Even though I expect them to finish second, it's not a team I'm fucking sold on.
I don't think it's gonna be a clean second.
No. But like Gunless is like top 5 to me in the game right now.
Yeah, I know he's killing it.
But dude, that team, it's just. Oof.
Yeah, so I for me, I see LG close games. All of them are going to be close games, but I think it's going to be a 3-1. I think Reciprocity is going to be in there with them at every single game, but I don't think they're going to push it to the game 5.
I'm gonna be surprised if they will. I'm making a bold claim. Reciprocity 3-1.
You're taking Reciprocity 3-1?
I feel like I have to have a I think I have to go a big upset at least one of these fucking games. And that LGC,
I mean, it makes sense.
That your first game.
It makes sense. I mean, I said 3-1, but they're going to be close games, so it's not hard to believe that it could go 3-1 the other way with the way I'm saying it. Then the first game Wednesday, we've got Reciprocity and Gen G, LG versus UIU, Midnight versus Red Reserve, and EG versus Optic Gaming. So the first game is Reciprocity and Gen G. This is going to be a close game. This is going to game 5, in my opinion. And I think Gen G just has the better search. So I'm going to give it to Gen G 3-2.
3-2. Gen G.
You're going with that too?
I'm going with it.
I feel like
you're going to have to clutch out a fucking... They always start off so hot in those searches, and then... I don't know if they get overconfident, and you have shit where, like... Havoc just blows full streaks and ends up losing the round, and he's going full fucking tilt.
Yeah. I feel like that's what a lot of teams do, is they get a huge lead, and they try and close it out with everything that they've earned. And then once they lose that round, if they lose that round with everything that they've earned, they feel like they can't win a round anymore. They feel like they just got dominated after using everything that they have, and their morale's low. The other team's morale's high. They're like, oh, fuck. We just got everything from them. They didn't beat us, and now we're starting to earn ours. Ours are starting to come online, and we're going to use them better. I think that's what it is. I think it's why we're seeing a lot of collapses is specialists. They're seeing a lot of teams have a hot start, get their specialists early, choke the specialists, and then the other team's specialists are starting to come online so they can just reply better. LG versus UIU. LG, I think they're going to take it 3-0. I think UIU is going to have a rough week.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
I think they did the worst possible thing for their team was making that change.
It was so close to the fucking Pro League starting. I don't... Oh, man, that change... Like, fuck a sponsorship potential. Like, you just destroyed your reputation in the community.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's. I don't think anybody's happy with what happened. I don't think anybody understands it. Everybody feels for spoofs. It's not the same situation where we saw with Farrell, where people understood it. I think everybody was just caught off guard.
I know UIU is up to some bullshit because they be signing some nerd ass Tekken players who just like they just be having this. I just want to see if I could pull up their fucking like their overall team roster. It is it's one of those. They have like 50 people. If you don't sign so many fucking people, you don't have to worry about so much fucking sponsorship.
Yeah.
But whatever. I don't see them doing well at all in this group.
No. Before the change, I had high hopes for them. A couple of homies on that team, I had high hopes for them. I've been watching them compete, being this close, so I was like, hey, they're gonna be that team. They're gonna finally show up, and then they make that change, and it just didn't seem to make sense to me. But we got Midnight Red Reserve. This is gonna be a good game. This is gonna be a really good game. Midnight has been beating up on people. Red Reserve hasn't been doing as well as they normally do. I can see either team winning this. I feel like it's going to go 3-2, and I'm going to give it to Midnight.
Yeah, I think this is going to be Midnight pick up their first win.
Yeah.
In division.
Yeah,
I'm going to go 3-1. I think it's going to be pretty... I feel like they're going to handle it pretty easily.
Okay.
Logically, why? No reason. It's my good.
I
It's
got
my
you.
good.
I got
It's
you.
my good. It's my good.
Last game of the day, gonna be a fucking banger. It's gonna be a good one. EG versus Optic Gaming. Um, both teams that really look like they're in a good spot. Both teams that probably going into the pool, they feel like, hey, we're going to playoffs. That's what this is. Let's just go in, handle business. So both teams are gonna be going there for their paycheck, and I mean, hard to go against Optic. I got to give it to them 3-2 though.
Yeah, it's hard for me to bet against them. If they do lose, this would be the game in the division.
Yeah.
But so much has to go wrong. They have so much firepower.
Yeah. I don't know when the last time they lost a series was. I'm not even sure about that, online or at LAN. I'm not even sure if it's happened in this game. Then the last game, Midnight UIU, or no, this is the first game of Thursday. Midnight's gonna take it. Midnight's gonna finish this week 2-2. And everybody's beating the fuck up on UIU. I think that's all that's happening. Although I have seen UIU, they act a 2-point clubbed E6.
Then Joe making some fucking IG video in bed or Twitter video. I don't know what the fuck was going on.
I saw it on my thing, but I
was
didn't actually watch it.
I don't got time for this. I don't got time for this bullshit. Oh man. Random thought about UIU methods. Has anybody else's stack plummeted as far as his has?
I mean, I really don't think it's that bad. I think when he went out to G2, everybody thought G2 made a great move there. They thought G2 improved, myself included. I think Methods is a great player.
I mean, he went from what? Optic, that shit tanked. Then he went to what? FaZe? That shit tanked. Then went to G2. Everybody thought they were essentially a lock to the league. They don't qualify.
I'm not I'm not really one to believe in that kind of shit where like there's a curse for a player. Oh. Yeah, I mean it's scary to think about. Might get in your head a little bit, but I think if he's a smart player, he knows he's a great player. I think honestly, Methods for Spoof, if you just made the 1-for-1 trade with nothing else involved, it's a good move. But with all the bullshit surrounding it, I don't think it's a good move, and I think it's going to cause some problems with this team. Don't think it's going to be Method's fault, however. I don't think it's going to be because he's not playing well enough or because he's got some curse around him. I think it was just like a bad move with all like everything else that was tied to it. And I think they're going to suffer because of it, but I don't think it's going to affect Method's career. Like, he's still got a long career ahead of him.
Well, he still has a long career, but you went from like a powerhouse to like you're on Optic to now you're on UIU. I mean, he has to right that ship somehow, somewhere, sometime.
Yeah. I think this could be the start to it. If he has, who knows? We could be wrong, and this could have just been a perfect fucking move for them, and they got what they needed out of it. And this could be his rise back up, because he was one of those players. He was that 18-year-old player that as soon as he turned 18, people were fucking ready for Methods to come onto the scene. So who knows? He could get back to that. But I see Midnight taking this 3-0 and just really making UIU regret their decision.
Jet Li's a top tier name. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, you think so?
Asian name Jet Li. I mean, it's
you can't
easy,
go wrong with that shit.
I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
Optic Reciprocity. I mean, you know what we're gonna say here.
What are we doing here? Yeah.
Optic 3-0 in that shit. Red Reserve, Luminosity Gaming. Another good game. I feel like 3-2, and I'm not sure where I'm gonna go with it. I think I'm gonna give the edge to LG, but I wouldn't be surprised if Red Reserve won 3-2 as well.
I'm going LG because I picked them to come out, and if I go with my gut and say Red Reserve, I mean, I don't know what the fuck's going on with my picks.
Yeah.
No,
it's rough. It's rough, man. And then last game of the week, we got Genji versus Evil Genius. I got EG taking this 3-1, and that would be the end of the week for me.
I got Genji taking it 3-2.
You got Genji taking it 3-2? All right, I respect it. It would have been cool if we would have kept what we were doing here and we could have seen what we had after for the standings at the end of the first week, but we don't got that yet. We're not there. We ain't there. We ain't there yet. So yeah, that's what we're seeing for the first week. Next week we'll be back Friday as well for the live stream. And
random question.
Yeah.
Rookie of the year. If you had to pick one right now, who do you think you'll be rookie of the year?
Let's see who we got for rookies. There's like 20, right?
Is Major a rookie?
I don't think so.
He was at Worlds last year. Think he?
I mean, I can really give Dashi.
I mean, obviously, I'm talking about second place.
Okay.
If Dashi wasn't in the running, who the?
I mean, I might want to go for a player from Heretics, honestly. Oh,
Envoy, if again he's kind of stays on the path he's going.
Yeah.
But damn, Heretics.
That's one thing I got to learn more. I got to learn more about the specific players on Heretics.
I need to go back and watch some of their games.
Yeah.
I think it's Journey. I think if I remember names that I heard a lot about as far as doing well during PLQ, I think it was Journey.
Yeah.
But again, I'm just talking on my ass. I have no fucking idea.
I'm gonna pick a player who's not even in the league. I'm gonna go Celium. I can see Celium coming out with Rookie of the Year this year, even in the conversation with Dashi.
I mean,
if here, think about it. If you put Celium where Dashi is, you think Celium succeeds?
Oh, I think he succeeds, but I don't think he's the number one player on the team.
I think he kills it too.
I think he kills it, but I don't think he'd be. Dashi's like the clear best player on Optic, clear best player in the game. Celium's great, but I mean, it's Dashi's to lose.
Yeah, I want to see more of Celium. I want to see way more of that kid. Simp is coming in. He's turning 18. That's going to be fun to watch because Simp has been destroying worlds since he was like 16, and everybody's just been waiting for him to turn 18. So that kid's going to be hilarious. When he turns 18, he's going to be at Fort Worth. So that's going to be fun to see. March 1st, I could see him getting onto a team. And yeah. So, I mean, I got to give it to Dashi, Celium, and Simp. Those are my three right now. And it's crazy because two of them aren't even in the fucking league right now. But
I'm going Dashi, Envoy. I gotta find a fucking list who's actually considered a rookie.
Yeah, that's one thing for sure. I could be just like, is Dash even a rookie? Are we sure? I think so, right?
Oh, yeah.
How old is Dashi? Let's go to his fucking esports PDA page. He's 19. So maybe he was on Complexity last year. He was at the... No, he's been in the Pro League before.
Has he?
Yeah, he was on Complexity last year. So, that's not even a thing.
That's not even a thing. We're just out here just blind, motherfuckers.
Yeah. We'll have more about this conversation next week. We could actually come into it with a... who do you got for Player of the Year?
Dashi.
You got Dashi for Player of the Year? I think... I mean, it kind of depends.
I could see, if I'm not thinking of that, I could see Gunless.
Yeah.
Temp.
Yep.
I had to do like a top 5. Let me look at some of these teams.
I can see App. I can see Apathy being up there. That man has been killing it this year.
He has been. He is. Envy's my team.
Yeah.
Gotta pick one.
I'd like to see Kenny make a comeback. Have a good year. I'm not sure if it's going to happen. Yeah.
But my top three: Dashy, Gunless, Temp. Fucking Jigglypuff. Let's see how the fuck he does.
Word. All right, you ready to put the shit to an end?
I mean, I ain't got shit else to say.
All right. So, right now, obviously, we started this on Friday.
Random thing. How do you feel about the fucking patch? The game?
I love it.
Bro, I fucking talk so much shit.
They did a good job. I mean, obviously, they didn't give us what we all wanted. We want league play. Give us fucking league play. But they put some dope new camos in the game. Made Blackout a little bit cooler. And they gave us at least something to play competitively.
Fiending. Fiending for it. Oh.
Yeah, it's fun. What are we doing after this? We're going to play it. Fucking so. Yeah, I think the patch was good. All right. Let me fucking tell people when this fucking shit is and where they can find it, right? Quit fucking interrupting me with your random ass fucking questions. So, we started the stream Friday at around 8-ish. We were a little late because it's the first one we were setting shit up. I mean, you can see, if you're watching on Twitch, you can see where all of our shit is down under me. Right here. Oh, I've never done this before. Look where all the shit is.
He wanted them to. All
right. Yeah, so you can see where all of it is. It'll be on YouTube the next day. That's up to Shaq. So if you're watching on YouTube, you won't see the Twitch because he doesn't have an updated graphic yet with everything on it. But you don't got the Twitch on it.
I mean, okay. I'm just missing the Twitch.
Yeah. So then you can find us at all of our socials there. We're finally going live with Instant Replay. A bit about us, what we want to do with Instant Replay was we'd like to be an esports organization one day. It's something we'd like to work on. We'd like to have a team in the pro league or something like that one day. But we're working on getting our funds done and getting shit going, getting a little bit of notoriety to ourselves, having you guys learn who we are, us learning who a bunch of you are. Talking to you guys and shit like that. Yep. And that's what our plan is here. We want to talk about the Pro League. We're having a good time talking about it. I've had a good time watching it this year. I don't think I've missed a single match in terms of lands or anything like that. I've been addicted to it. Call of Duty is extremely fun to watch this year. It's in a good spot, in my opinion. And yeah, and Shaq's going to upload this every Saturday. We're going to be live every Friday at 8 talking about last week, talking about what's going to happen next week, talking about the news and shit that's going on with it. And, yeah.
Thinking of a platform to put it just for audio. So that's something I've been tinkering around with. Thinking about whether that's maybe SoundCloud or I'll figure it out. Yeah,
that's something that would be cool. I listen to all my shit on the Apple Podcast app.
I do, but
I don't know how hard it is to get shit on there.
Exactly. But again, I'm super ambitious, but I'm lazy as shit, so don't count on it.
Or
we'll figure it out.
Fucking, if any of you guys are actually ever watching this shit, yell at them, tell them to do it.
Yeah,
I mean,
comments.
Hey, I gotta tell this man to come play with me all the time, and he's like, I'm lazy. So,
and as you said, Instant Replay, we're building this up. As far as my objectives for the team, outside of that, it's just kind of building the knowledge. Because again, situation with Spoof where people just kind of sign on a dotted line without thinking. I'm just trying to, especially with amateurs, just help them build their brand, their knowledge of business, life, just how to think about things, put yourself in the position to win. So that's what we're going to work on for the team. Again, we'll figure out how everything's going to be uploaded. Again, plan is, 8 p.m. Friday live, uploaded Saturday. When? 2 p.m. ish Eastern is goal. But again, there's some background shit we have to work out. Logistics.
Yeah, I feel like starting off, we did pretty well. We had a few hiccups, but it's only going to get better from here. And yeah, so if you want to hit us up, you see all of our socials on the bottom here. You can follow me on Twitter, Frauds_IR. And what's yours at again?
SJ Fresco. SJFRESCO. Haven't changed it yet. I'm lazy. Again, I'm ambitious, but I'm lazy. It's the melanin in me.
We'll be back next week with more of this shit. All right, man. You got anything else to say?
Pancakes over waffles. Nobody gonna tell me otherwise.
You're crazy. Fuck that. Peace out. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.